Hello, 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 hello. We are back. We are back. We are back with three bronze medals as things stand. Uh, I think we are running on the track that Chaudhary said mentioned that we won't reach the double digit. But how are we feeling? How are we feeling about India at Olympics right now? How are things?
I have just one point. First point, right? The what I felt happy about today when I was watching the hockey penalty shootout, right? On Geo at that point of time, there were 2.5 crore people watching. Okay, so that was my first bout of happiness कि यार ये वाले numbers सिर्फ पहले क्रिकेट में यार आईपीएल में हुआ करते थे of people watching. So if that number is accurate, I think we are moving in the right direction of watching other sports. So I felt very happy. So that's let me just put it out there that this is what made me the happiest today, outside of the heartbreaks that we had today. So one happy point.
Yeah, in general, in today I felt very kicked, right? And I know we're going to speak about it in some time. तो मैं ज़्यादा उस पर delve नहीं करूँगा. But today I was feeling very, very good in general after India's hockey match for multiple reasons. But some part of me still feels कि यार इतने साल हो गए हैं, our tally does not go up, man. It does not go up. And I'm no expert. And to be very honest, I'm 70% a cricket fan myself, so I'm to blame myself. But our performances don't go up, man. It is what it is. हमारा तीन है अभी 7-8 पहुंचेगा उसके भी और नहीं पहुंचेगा.
So yeah,
Sorry, I'm
no,
being cynic. It
but
is
we
what it
have
is.
a realistic chance of crossing 10 because if you look at it, we have three pending right now, okay, which we are confident of.
Hmm.
Okay, three bronze we are confident of more.
But
Six,
okay,
no,
six, three bronze from where?
Lakshya.
Uh,
Okay, we have. Is Deepa still in? No.
no.
Oh shit. Okay.
So
Hmm.
we got
Then
three.
six. Then six is the number, na?
We got three sports that's left other than what's
Correct.
happening right now.
And is this counting Neeraj Chopra?
That's what I'm
Is
gonna
this
come to.
six?
I'm gonna
Correct.
come
But
to. I'm gonna come to javelin,
yeah.
wrestling, and
Correct.
weightlifting. These three are
Right.
still left right now.
Yeah.
Other
Okay.
other than Indian hockey and Lakshya being in contention, we are out of archery. We are out of shooting. Uh,
Hmm.
we are out of. I think almost rest of the sports are done. Athletics. I don't think there's another further space for us to win anywhere else. But I think that's where it is.
So are you saying best case scenario we are at eight possibly?
That's the dream scenario, in all honesty.
Hmm. Okay.
That's how it is.
Okay.
But I think our audience would have by now realized that we are very emotional in general when it comes to sports. Like how the day has been for us. It started with the feeling of unjust with Dev not winning his bout while the world thought that he should have, and specifically how he started his
Is
bout
that Srijan? Is that Indian media or world across?
across the
Uh,
across
Across
the
the world. I couldn't
uh,
follow that. Huh?
uh, followed up by the thrilling victory of our 10 men Indian hockey team against Great Britain, the Great Britain. Uh, then the
Hate that word.
then the almost win of Lakshya against against the Danish opponent. But that's how sports happens. It's the emotion that it drives. I have a quick question before we enter the main set of our episode. Do you think it's even possible to detach emotion in sports?
No, man, I can't. If emotion is out, I don't think sports has a place. Then it becomes mechanical. Might as well robots might play. For all I care, right? But without emotion, there's no conversation. In at least for me, I can't.
But you think it's possible within the athlete, but it's not possible among the fans? Is that the case?
Yes, I think athletes, I think because it's a profession, while they have the jazba and the junoon, I honestly feel that when they look into it, focus, they have a job to do. They go in there, do the job, and come back. That's what I feel. And that's how all professionals are. At least that's what I think. But for fans, it's insane, right? Like, यार, तू just imagine कर यार, जोगिंदर शर्मा bowling कर रहा है, मिसबा पीछे मार रहा है, श्रीशांत खड़ा है. What will the fan do? श्रीशांत has a job to do. He has to catch. Emotion has no job role there, right? As a fan, you're standing there because you have no control, and the only thing you can do is your heart is pounding. Right, so that's the only thing. So I don't think outside of emotions I can watch sports.
No,
Reality.
I'll be very specific this one to Chaudhary. Keeping in mind, you are the one who has always the highest quotient of emotion when it comes to
Bro,
any sort of sport. But do you think it's even possible for you to, आज मैं मैच देखूंगा, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, कुछ भी होने वाला है.
यार मैंने बहुत बार ट्राई किया है, बहुत बार ट्राई किया है. मतलब लास्ट 2023 वर्ल्ड कप आई सेड लुक आई इन्वेस्टेड टू मच इन दिस क्रिकेट टीम, आई एम जस्ट गोना फॉलो इट रैंडमली. चलेगा, देखूंगा, होगा होगा, नहीं होगा नहीं होगा. बट यार देखो, ऐसी सीधी सी बात यह है कि जज्बात के बिना मोहब्बत नहीं होती ना, और जज्बात के बिना जिंदगी भी नहीं होती है. स्पोर्ट इज लाइक लाइफ,
Wow.
लव, इमोशन मैन है. यू यू कांट टेक इट अवे, यू कांट टेक इट अवे. मतलब मेरे को नहीं लगता है कि इसके बिना अगर मैं इसको मैकेनिकली देखना स्टार्ट कर दूं फिर ये क्या ही बच जाएगा इसमें.
नहीं
दिस इज द
नहीं,
रोमांस ऑफ स्पोर्ट.
Chaudhary.
इस दुनिया को संडे शायर वरुण चौधरी की बहुत ज्यादा आवश्यकता है.
Yeah,
तो बिल्कुल.
Chaudhary, on that note, I don't know what you will feel about this emotion. Crickbuzz app just popped up. India all out for 208. Sri Lanka won by 32 runs. So,
I'm happy. I'm happy.
define your emotion, sir, please.
I'm actually happy. I want Sri Lanka to do well, man. I want Sri Lanka to do really well. I'm very, very happy about it. To be very honest. I want
काश
Sri Lanka.
काश ओलंपिक्स में भी बाकी कंट्री यही सोचे, आई वांट इंडिया टू डू रियली वेल, आई वांट इंडिया टू डू रियली वेल, कम ऑन, वी कैन डू दैट. बट टॉकिंग अबाउट ओलंपिक्स, व्हाट वी गोना डू टुडे स्पेसिफिकली, व्हिच इज across sports, what we want to do today is we want to marry human emotions with certain sports stories or sports feeling or sports in general is what we want to do today. uh, um, and we're going to pick up one emotion each and then sort of marry it to a sports story. Uh, Sudeep, you were saying something, sorry.
Just before we jump onto the main section, I saw Lakshya play for the past couple of days. I saw him play again today. I have a feeling, it's a gut. I honestly feel one gold is secured for us next Olympic. I'm taking a call maybe 4 years later when we sit and chat. I have a feeling one gold is secured. That boy plays like a dream boss. Fan. Huge fan. Insane.
Yeah,
Insane player.
today Djokovic has finally completed his golden Grand Slam.
Hmm.
And he was balling. He was balling for obvious reason. The
Sure.
fag end of his
Dude,
career.
that bowling was all. Sorry to say this, but the bowling was
Chaudhary hated it. He was
so
immediately on
fucking
Instagram
stupid.
talking about. But why do you
And
say so? He is
you know,
emotion. He has the emotions, guys.
but I'll tell
यार
you,
यार यार 38 साल की उम्र में ना दिख जाते ही कौन सच्ची में रो रहा है, कौन बस रो रहा है. मतलब it did not seem, I don't know man, maybe it's my bias, it did not seem genuine, but
I'll tell
yeah,
you where I'm going. And then Carlos Alcaraz started shedding some tears also.
that seemed genuine,
Uh,
but yeah.
and I was watching it with a couple of friends at home, and they said, "क्यों रो रहा है यार? अभी तो मतलब you have age on your side. You will win the next Olympic and all of those things." And I ended up telling them, नहीं पता यार,
Hmm.
4 साल है, 4 साल में कुछ भी हो सकता है. It's impossible for them to. It's in that moment that you sort of want to achieve it there and then, because you never really know. Matlab, there
Hmm.
might be a 15-year-old or an 18-year-old who might turn out to be a better tennis player than Alcaraz might be in
Yeah.
next 4 years. But so that's where I'm coming from. Lakshya, I genuinely hope that there is a gold medal happening. Uh, Victor ended up saying also कि unfortunately being his first Olympic, he could not sort of stand the pressure in as many words, and he genuinely feels he's going to come back. But 4 साल बहुत टाइम है दादा, मतलब कुछ भी हो
Fair enough.
सकता
Fair
है.
enough. Fair enough.
I
Uh,
Victor, on that note, Victor looks like one of those international villains in
In
those
Cobra Kai.
in 90s Akshay Kumar movies, man.
Victor looks like a guy, that villain in a British drama series who will wear a full-fledged coordinated tracksuit
Shit, man.
and sort of is walking around kind of a thing.
He's so cold. Like, he should
He
either be in a Manoj Night Shyamlan movie or in a 90s Bollywood movie or whatever you're
but
saying, Srijan. Yeah.
that's how he was running today. Uh, okay, so my
Yeah.
emotion is fear. Um, I thought it's going to be tricky, but I think keeping in mind the current sports calendar, it sort of made it easy for me in a very harsh manner.
Mhm.
Olympics is a gentle reminder, or not a gentle, sorry. Olympics is a harsh reminder that my fear that India will end up being only a cricketing nation and not a sports nation. It's a gentle reminder that maybe it's easier. It's important for me to just accept that fear is now a reality, uh, because it seems difficult to digest with the kind of population, the kind of uh, topography that India as a country has, which sort of can be utilized for all possible sports that exist within Olympics. We unfortunately have been a consistent failure as a country. It doesn't take away the fact that I'm extremely proud about the athletes who end up representing us in that Olympics, because in some way or the other, you are the best of the world, but it's almost those 2 inches and the half inches and the 0.5 inches that sort of has been our struggle point. Uh, I'm going to put throw out certain numbers why my I feel that fear is now a reality. The top five country in the medal tally are China, US, France, Australia, Great Britain. That these are the top five country. I want to just tell you how much these countries.
Sorry, Srijan. Don't call them great, bro. But yeah, go on.
But what I want to do is I'm going to tell you two set of numbers on how much these countries have invested in sports in Olympics preparation on an annual basis for the past 4 years. Um, China has invested 3.2 billion US dollars across sports. US has invested around 5 to 600 million US dollars. France has, again, this number is big because it's happening in France right now. So it will have certain infrastructure development, stadium development, and falana. But even if I remove all of those things, France has invested almost 4 to 5 billion US dollar in the past Olympic cycle. Australia has invested 400 to 500 million US dollars. Britain has invested 230 to 350 million US dollar. India, in comparison, has invested 56 million US dollar. Talking about the population, China is at 1.4 billion, US is at zero point 0.3 billion, France is at 64 million, Australia is at 26.4 million, Britain is at 67 million, India is at 1.4 billion. More harsh number for you guys. As things stand, Paris Olympics, we are at 3 medals. Tokyo was at 7. Rio was at 2. London was at 6. Beijing was at 3. In the history of Summer Olympics, India has won 38 medals. And we all know out of that 12 medal was the early stage of hockey, the golden era of hockey, the
Yeah.
pre-turf, the artificial turf era of hockey that we were at. It's it's mind-boggling, guys. We have some of the richest folks in the world living in our country, but unfortunately the money is not going at the right place. It's impossible what we are doing. It's, and you won't believe, whatever basic research I could do, lot of these except China, because it's everything is government run. Rest of the countries, the smaller countries, the private money investment is almost 60 to 70% of the total investment that's happening in that country.
Hmm.
Matlab, we were laughing it out. I think couple of days back. यार इंडिया स्विमर कैसे नहीं बना सकता? like again, I want to also talk about a certain positive that India has done. The youth games and everything has been crazy. Like I don't think we would have had a Neeraj Chopra if it wasn't for those youth games that India has started organizing.
Yeah,
But I think
yeah.
at the sports level, at the college level, at the school level, uh, I think there's still so much more to be done. I genuinely hope when the next budget gets presented, uh, I am able to personally keep the taxation trauma aside and just look at sports में कितना डालने वाले हो यार, बताओ ना यार क्या करने वाले हो. This also brings me to the biggest fear that exists with me right now, and I still battle it out. That I don't think in my lifetime I will be able to see India play a FIFA World Cup. I don't think that's gonna happen either. But I genuinely hope I'm gonna start manifesting. I'm gonna start thinking more about it. I feel I should contribute more and sort of find ways to contribute more to it. But it's just disappointing, man. It's the scale, the investment, it's all over the place. But that's a fear. That's a fear for me for sure.
That's pretty
Bleak.
hardcore numbers.
That's
That's very,
pretty dark to
you
start
know,
at.
because I was, the thing is that with all these fears, etc., I always try to take out, call me a foolish optimist in all of this, and the thing is that I always try and take couple of small positives from it whenever I see some numbers or some data, etc. But um, I honestly feel, while you are very, very right in terms of investment, etc., going in, and corporates are not pumping in that kind of money into grassroots level. I think that is where we need to start. Like right when we go back to basics and start building the base, right? So that I think that is our next big step that we need to take for sure. I don't know who is going to. I know a couple of corporates are really heavily pressing on it. Not sure at what scale. So that is one. And the second thing, I really feel that because India is going to be a country where in the next 2 years or 3 years, I think our 60% of the population is going to be below the age of 30. I feel that there will be a lot more accountability that will come when it comes to us as a country promoting all sports rather than just cricket. So I am very very hopeful of the fact that in the next 20 years, uh, the golden era of Indian sports will start. I'm not saying that we will be right up there in the next 20 years, but I think the golden era will start in the next 15 to 20 years in sports for sure, because the next generation will kick it up and take it forward. I'm very very hopeful of that because of the age demographics part of it and how passionate and accountable they are going to be with sports. At least that's the good optimist in me feel.
I genuinely hope, and I hope that I'm able to share that optimism. Not right now, for sure. Chaudhary, you've been smiling throughout. I know you.
He's
Chaudhary,
considering, should he go all out or should he just be on the edge.
Chaudhary is in a very "I told you so" kind of a zone right now.
Man, I just went off on a separate tangent, man. Like, if you look at these top 10 countries, right, all developed nations apart from China. China भी developed there, but income disparities are there, right? But everybody else is a developed nation. I am now thinking, is sport in general a rich man's passion? Because अगर तुम medals देखोगे सारे के सारे, तो यार 50% concentration is with these 9-10 developed countries, man. हम इंडिया की बात कर रहे हैं, हमारे 5-6 साल आ जाएंगे, बाकियों के भी इतने आएंगे यार. हम 15 की जगह 25 पे होंगे, या 30 पे होंगे, 40 पे होंगे. I think if unless we take an approach where we are taking sport as seriously as China, हमारा कुछ नहीं होने वाला. अगले 15-20 साल में कुछ नहीं होगा, कुछ भी नहीं होगा, क्योंकि सीधी सी बात ये है कि अभी भी इस देश में काफी सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो रात को भूखे सोते हैं यार. उनके पास स्पोर्ट्स के बारे में सोचने की प्रिविलेज नहीं है. एंड आई थिंक आई नो दिस इज अ स्पोर्ट्स पॉडकास्ट एंड वी शुड थिंक अबाउट दैट, बट मेरे को लगता है कि दैट आफ्टर हैविंग लुक्ड एट दिस मेरे को लग रहा है कि दे आर बिगर प्रॉब्लम्स टू सॉल्व. आई थिंक इंडिया में अभी 15-20 मेडल आ जाए काफी है. बट अभी हम नहीं पहुंचेंगे यार 50 100 150 200 पे, तो बहुत टाइम है, बहुत टाइम है।
I think it's about time we come out of the darkness
We already come down.
and step into some light before we change our name to from Note to Is Raat Ki Subah Nahi kind of a conversation. Chaudhary, you
Oh
are
God.
gonna be talking about surprise as an emotion. Over to you, man.
Yeah, for me, like sport has always been about. I think I've spoken about this in one of the early episodes, and assuming some people have listened to us already, although a handful. I think for me, watching sport is about the romance of sport, man. It is about मतलब कि यार कोई उम्मीद नहीं है, लड़का बैक बेंचर है, निकम्मा है, इससे कुछ नहीं होने वाला, वो आकर वो कहीं बैकग्राउंड में मेहनत कर रहा है कराटे के टाइप मियागी के साथ, राइट? और वो आता है और फोड़ देता है, राइट? दैट इज व्हाट आई प्राइमरली वॉच स्पोर्ट फॉर, एंड आई नो वो गलत है बिकॉज लाइफ वैसे चलती नहीं है, लाइफ इज अ लॉट डिफरेंट देन दैट। बट हाँ, मेरे लिए स्पोर्ट इज ऑल अबाउट गुड सरप्राइजेस and sort of believing in the fact that the impossible can be possible if you put your mind to it, right? That's what I watch sport for. And therefore, I think two moments which sort of come to my mind are I'm going to speak about one from tennis and one from cricket. And I'm pretty sure Sudeep will jump with joy when I speak about cricket, but I'll go to tennis first and then come to cricket. Tennis, man, 2001, right? मैंने तब देखना ही स्टार्ट किया होगा शायद उससे 3 4 साल पहले, एंड आई वाज नॉट अ वेरी रेगुलर viewer at tennis, but Goran Ivanisevic at that 2001 Wimbledon was something out of this world, right? Interestingly, I was watching that Wimbledon because the British media was saying ki this is the year of Tim Henman. Like Tim Henman used to come every year and
Yeah.
say, "Look, I am very well prepared. This is my best year. इस साल तो मैं फोड़ देगा. इससे better preparation हुआ नहीं है. सब हो जाएगा." I had not even noticed Ivanisevic up until the semis, right? And then the semis came. There are certain moments in sport जब आपको लगता है कि भगवान ने लिख दी है. He's written it for you, right? Um, I think I was watching it, and that match lasted 3 days. The semis lasted 3 days. Ivanisevic was behind on day one, right? He was behind 2 sets to 1. कि जिस दिन पहले दिन पे बारिश हुई ना, he knew आज खत्म है मैच, कल मैं जीत रहा हूँ. I'm on my way to the finals.
Mm,
And momentum change, he won, right?
mm.
Uh, just the way he played that day with uh, all of the crowd sort of a lot of the crowd supporting the local guy, but Ivanisevic being Ivanisevic, fighting it out. And similarly on the day of the finals, Pat Rafter, clearly the more popular guy, clearly the guy who was better ranked. Ivanisevic was ranked 125, the only wild card ever to have won Wimbledon, right? But the crowd was sort of rooting for the underdog. Went to a five-setter. Ivanisevic had two double faults on championship points, two double faults on two championship points, and man, he won. He won. What what a surprise! Like
I was also going to say clearly more marketing money also on Rafter because of his looks and everything.
exactly,
So,
exactly. And
it,
Ivanisevic had been to finals before. He'd
yeah,
been to three Wimbledon finals before, never won it. And here he comes from the behind and sort of clinches it.
match was also a turning point in how tennis would be played on the grass court, where it used to be earlier a very serve and drop kind of a grand slam in general, where Ivanovic also ended up putting the brute power also into that grand slam. But I think that in my head, I will always remember the it being a very sophisticated, all white, polished form of tennis grand slam. And yeah,
No, no. One thing which Ivanisevic did really well during that Grand Slam was he took off his shirt after every match. Like after he used to take off his shirt at Wimbledon and say, "Look, I won it." He was enjoying himself, man. And my best memory was I met him. I met him. No, I sort of ran into him last year at Wimbledon. So I have a photo with him.
sweet,
Man, brilliant guy.
sweet.
Very, very
Wow.
good.
Nice.
And I don't know whether we want to speak about my
Uh,
second memory, and I'll let Sudeep take over on that. But second surprise is, and I'm going to speak very shortly on it. It's about uh, that day when Sudeep made a video call to all of us after we won that Gava Test match. We were all on cloud, not even nine to the power nine, cloud 27. I don't know what it was, man. None of us expected um, India to win it, and I think it's one of the biggest victories that I've seen in my lifetime. We can go do an entire episode on GABA. Sony has done a documentary on GABA. Some documentaries have been made on GABA. But मुझे याद है सुदीप का फोन आया था उस दिन. All four or five of us were on the call and saying, भाई आज क्या हो गया?
कुछ अलग ही हो गया.
Didn't even expect it. Yeah.
Toota hai Gaba ka Ghamand. So fuck. I think one of the most epic lines on broadcasting ever. But interestingly, you spoke about Gaba when you spoke about surprises. My surprise was the previous test match. How we drew it, boss. I'm like,
Yeah,
bro,
man.
with Vihari and Ashwin, boss, that was, Gaba, I was like, यार, कुछ तो हो रहा है, ball घूम रहा है, Pant is in form, चल रहा है, Shubman played well, everything is happening, right? वो मेरे को वो previous test में मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया, bro, हम कैसे वो draw किए ना, I still sometimes sit and watch because I'm pretty vela in life, I've realized. So I sit and watch replays of sessions, and I sometimes wonder how did Vihari and Ashwin play it through, boss? And it's
भाई
insane. So for me, that's surprise.
और पूरा बिहारी नहीं था, आधा अधूरा. इतना बॉल खा
आधा
चुका था
बिहारी
कि
था,
आधा
आधा बिहारी
आधा बिहारी था
था.
उसमें बस. Moving on quickly, and I think it's a feeling that all three of us for sure share, is gratitude. And I know, Sudeep, you are in general, in your personal life, in your professional life also, extremely vocalist about gratitude. So over to you, man.
So okay, so it might sound like a monologue for you guys, okay? But first of
Sports
all,
का पंचनामा.
gratitude to Fijish today for stopping the goal. Okay, let's start with that. Saying that thank you, the wall of India. Now we have two walls. We have Dravid and we have Sujish. So that's one. I have written notes, so I'll use my phone. I'm really sorry. Um, I think for me, my gratitude is towards every single person who discovered sports in general. Because honestly, that is I feel a very very happy part of my life. वो pursuit of happiness में बोलते हैं ना वो that one person. This moment is happiness is every day when I come back from office and see sports, right? And over the years, I have been grateful watching multiple legends in multiple sports in the same lifetime which I never imagined. Okay, so I'll start, of course, with my favorite, and that's cricket. A lot of generations won't like. I'm grateful that I could see three World Cup wins, and I know more are coming in my lifetime in cricket. Uh, I am grateful that I could see Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, Steffi Graf, Venus and Serena, Joker, Nadal, Federer in the same lifetime. I think it's insane. I am my heartfelt gratitude to Gopi Chand, who won the 2001 All England Badminton and now is helping the country to develop champions like Nehwal, Sindhu, and latest being Lakshya because he's the head. I'm grateful to watch I am Vijayan, Baichung Bhutia, Chetri, Jopal Ancheri in Indian football live, and I love them. I really, really like them. It's not to discuss other sports, but I genuinely feel that on a daily basis, sports inspires me to get up, face challenges, come back. If I'm having a sad day, trust me, if I can just watch, if I'm having a sad day and I come back and say, यार वो 1996 का वेंकटेश प्रसाद वाला ओवर देखे क्या प्लीज आमिर सोहेल वाला आई एम ग्रेटफुल फॉर दैट right that's all I want right if you go to my YouTube shorts and Insta reels what you will find is sports reels going up and down so overall that's what I'm grateful for I think there are a lot more names and lot more sports I can talk about but I think I'm blessed grateful to have this sporting legacy that I have seen, and I'm just happy. And it's all only going to go up. It's not going to go down for sure. So before I sign off, I think there are much greater things in sports, in Indian sports, that we are going to watch. So that's what I'm grateful for.
I'm just sad you did not include Andy Roddick's services
I'm
in the
really
movie,
sorry. I'm
but
really sorry. Those aces. I'm really sorry. Oh, that speedometer, man. Oh God.
it's amazing
Oh,
how he
that
made
those
his career.
and the thing is that because like he played really well in Australian Open, right? If my memory jogs
He's
right.
he's had a good time in US Open also. I think he's
Yeah,
got a
but
couple of finals there.
because every time I think about him now, the first thing that flashes in my mind is the blue coats, okay, and going like shook, right? That's the first thing that drops in. So yeah,
He,
And
that's
this,
I,
and
Ramayan.
this,
I think he was the man who made caps look cool in tennis.
Yeah,
and the
so
sleeves
cool,
up.
Yeah.
so cool,
No,
so
man.
cool.
Yeah, and just adding on Sudeep's point, I know I'm interjecting, but sometimes you watch sport and ये question पहले मैं I was thinking मैं लूँगा ये question का answer, right? So I was just thinking about, man, you end up taking sides कि मेरे को ये player पसंद है, ये player पसंद नहीं है, whatever it is,
Hmm.
right? But sometimes legends appear,
Hmm.
and they just make sport look so good, like so good.
Yeah.
So, for example, Nadal, Federer, right? Just thankful that people exist who can play sport to such a nice level,
Yeah.
and who can inspire you on a daily basis. Also be grateful to Manmohan Singh and Narasimha Rao, वरना हमारा 90s में प्राइम स्पोर्ट्स नहीं आ रहा होता, स्टार स्पोर्ट्स नहीं आ रहा होता, हम डीडी स्पोर्ट देखते होते. Be grateful, be grateful to them as well.
I'm also grateful to ESPN Cricket Classics. Just saying, insane to show me Viv Richards innings.
And super selector.
Super selector.
and and ESPN School Quiz Olympiad. What days, man.
Oh
Lovely days.
yeah, lovely days.
You
Yeah.
know what's interesting also, some of our friends in our current age bracket, without telling our age bracket,
I'm
uh,
happy to tell it, bro.
uh,
I'm 25.
uh, damn, I thought you were closer to 19, but
No,
fuck.
bro.
Okay.
16
It
maybe.
depends. It depends on the 24-hour clock at what time you're meeting Chaudhary. His age is flexible.
But some of
And
our
on
some,
what day as well. But yeah.
but some of our friends in our friend circle who have sort of had exposure to sports in much later in their life,
Hmm.
and you hear them speaking about, oh, what have I done for so long by not experiencing sports,
Sports,
not
yeah,
playing sports, not
yeah.
not following a certain sport, and you are sitting in that corner and then sort of having a small little smile and saying, now you know it. Now you know it. I'm also thankful to Varun Chaudhary, Sudeep Subhash, Rohan Man for finally accepting and starting this podcast. But
Thanks to you,
I,
bro.
on that note, that was our share of happiness to be shared with you. Over and out.